What's up, everybody? If you want to join the greatest online Star Wars community, the Fandom Menace, make sure you hit that subscribe button before today's video starts, so you don't miss out on any updates and you're always the first to know when our newest videos go live.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
So we just had the trailer for Morbius drop, and it was pretty good looking. Jared Leto's a good actor, right? Not there. So I don't do reaction videos here on this channel. I'm just not a fan of them. But what I am is a fan of Spider-Man, and since Morbius is a Spider-Man villain, let's briefly talk about the trailer. But more importantly, let's talk about the bigger implications for the ever-dying MCU. My thoughts on the trailer were this. It's a good-looking film that gets the design of Morbius right. I like the tone, I like the story of Michael Morbius, and I love the visuals. I'm interested by Jared Leto's performance in this. While I think his Joker is an abomination, his performance in the trailer looks promising. All of Spider-Man's best villains have compelling backstories as to why they do what they do, and from the look of this trailer, Morbius will be getting the same treatment. If you had told me a few years ago that there would be a series of Spider-Man films without Spider-Man, I'd have said you were crazy. But after Venom hit big, that's the case. Like most of you, the big takeaway for me was the connection to the MCU proper. At the end of the trailer, we see a brief glimpse of Adrian Toomes played by Michael Keaton. Big whoop, right? Batman's in another movie. In all seriousness, this is a big deal because it ties Morbius to the MCU proper. Michael Keaton was in Spider-Man Homecoming, which stars Tom Holland as Spider-Man, the version of Spider-Man that's featured in the Avengers films. This trailer confirms that it is all one big universe, which is interesting because that wasn't always the case. It used to be treated as if the MCU, Sony's Spider-less Spider-Verse, and the animated universe were three separate entities. Confusing, but reasonable. It was also teased that another Spider-Man could pop up. Some thought it would be Miles Morales, or an older Peter Parker, but as of now, it's going to be Tom Holland's. Or is it? In the trailer, we get a glimpse of Spider-Man on an alleyway wall, where he's labeled a murderer. No big deal, right? I mean, we saw J. Jonah Jameson in the last film. We know his methods. We also know he wants pictures. Pictures of Spider-Man! The reason I bring the specific scene to your attention is because the poster on the wall features the Spider-Man costume from the Sam Raimi trilogy. Does that mean it's pizza time and Tobey Maguire's coming back? Probably not, because the image on the wall comes from the Spider-Man game on PlayStation 4. Sorry to disappoint. But I do find it odd because that very game features all of the Tom Holland costumes. So why feature the Raimi suit in the trailer? I'd love to be proven wrong and have that costume in the film, if there's going to be a Spider-Man in the film at all. The legalities of the Spider-Man film rights are confusing at best. Sony owns him, Disney leases him, and the fans benefit from that arrangement. A few months ago, when news of Spider-Man leaving the MCU broke, the fans were in an uproar. They, the fans, pronouns pal, wanted Holland's Spidey to stay, and Marvel and Sony listened. As a quick aside, I'd like to mention that when those fans spoke out about Spider-Man, the narrative around their complaints were that those people commenting on social media are ticket buyers, which is unlike Star Wars fans because they're toxic. How's that box office, Disney? The Joker said it best.
Get what you fucking deserve!
So now we're here. These outside of the MCU Spidey flicks take place in the MCU. Awesome. I still need to watch Venom. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed with the fact that Spider-Man Far From Home ended on a cliffhanger and thought we weren't going to get a resolution. It wasn't the best Spider-Man film, that goes to Spider-Man 2, but I liked it a lot, though it didn't handle the mess Endgame left the MCU in very well. I have a lot of questions after this revelation. There's been a lot of Marvel-related news that's been popping up and not necessarily getting the traction one may think. Since Endgame, the MCU has felt sort of over. Yes, Spider-Man Far From Home came out, was hugely successful and positively received, but the public eye has turned elsewhere. Though it wasn't on Star Wars, because that movie made significantly less than the last one. Just saying. Up until today, the future of the MCU felt bleak, and to be perfectly honest, it still sort of does. Let me get this out as clearly as possible. I don't enjoy saying this. I've been on the MCU train since Iron Man in 2008, and lined up for the first possible Endgame screening in 2019. With the exception of Captain Marvel, I've had a great time watching all of them and anticipating the next step towards the inevitable battle with Thanos. Now that it's over, and we've seen the lineup for Phase 4, my excitement for the MCU has decreased a lot, and I believe that's the case for a lot of fans. And here it is. Nothing stands out like the previous phases, and the addition of the Disney Plus shows as required viewing and a non-linear timeline muddles the viewing experience. The topic goes a lot deeper than a few sentences, and I'll have another video that covers this topic at great lengths. There's the Hawkeye separation, Captain Marvel 2's controversial writer, and the audience disconnect. Plus there's the fear that Disney has in regards to J.J. Abrams heading over to Warner Brothers, and you know what? Let's just watch that next time. So yes, this trailer was good. I liked it. I'm hoping the eventual reintroduction of Spider-Man gives us a Spider-Man closer to the comics. You know, great power, great responsibility, and the like, and less Iron Man Jr. MCU Spider-Man has lost everything that made the character so popular with readers for over 40 years. He, Spider-Man, was the everyman. He had these great powers, but he also had a normal, everyday life that kinda sucked. That's the duality of Spider-Man that the new version is missing. Consequences. Will Morbius reinvigorate the slightly stagnant MCU slate for Phase 4? Who knows? Venom hit big, and Morbius could do the same, but Venom was a much bigger character than Morbius could ever hope to be. 90s kids loved Venom. Marvel exploited the character for years, and people ate it up. Morbius has more of an uphill battle, but being associated with Spider-Man helps. Time will tell, but to lump this in as a guaranteed hit in the vein of the MCU proper is a bit premature. So what did you guys think of this trailer? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you impressed? Were you unimpressed? Some people just seem to hate all of the Marvel stuff from Sony. Some people love it, and some people like some of it. I think the Spider-Man films are pretty good. They're not the best we've ever had, but then again, I'm a Spider-Man fan from the comic era where I expect certain things. And the Raimi films, well, at least the first two of them, had it. And that's what I'm looking for. Great power, great responsibility. Really just responsibility. Tom Holland's Spider-Man kind of is carefree. He has Tony Stark to back him up financially, and he is Iron Man Jr. But you guys can tell me what you think. Who is your favorite Spider-Man actor in the comments below? And tell me what you think of this trailer. I'm glad it looks the way it looks. It might be kind of scary. We might have Morbius the living vampire, the vampire, not the cartoon version where he sucks plasma out of you with his hands. You know, 90s Spider-Man had a lot of censorship battles, and the show was still damn good. So I'm glad it is what it is, but I'm hoping we get a more serious, dark Morbius, not the Felicia and all that other crap that we used to get. But we only have to wait a few months to find out because I believe the movie comes out in July. So, folks, in July we'll be back with a review. We'll cover all the MCU news, and make sure you don't miss our next video on the MCU because it's going to be a doozy. There's a lot going on, and I don't think the franchise's future is as solid as people would like to think. And by people, I mean Disney. So folks, if you like what we do, hit that thumbs up button and share this all over social media. If you really like to get involved with the channel, back us over on Patreon. $1 a month goes a long way, but $5, which is only 17 cents a day, goes even further. It gets you access to all kinds of exclusive stuff. The guys and I have decided that since Prohibition turns 100 years old, we're going to go back and we're going to do some mob-related content. So if you like mob films, Godfather, Goodfellas, all sorts of stuff, well, join us over there. We're going to have a long-form discussion, and then we're going to go and we're going to do some commentaries for some crime films, and just have a lot of fun. Do something different than the normal rigmarole. So, folks, thank you for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you, and I have one request. And if you're new to the channel, you have no clue what it is, but if you've been around a while and there's 150,000 plus of you, well, you know what I'm about to say. But that doesn't take away its urgency. Go out into the world and be excellent to each other.